Welcome to part 6 of the Minesweeper tutorials. In this tutorial, we're going to be looking at the expanding of the grid when we click on a space that doesn't have any bombs around it. So in our last project, if I run this, we have our mines being placed when we click on our first square, our numbers then generating based on the mines or bombs around them. At the moment, when we click on a zero space like this one here, it doesn't reveal the ones around it, and it doesn't continue to reveal any zero spaces and the numbers around it. So that's what our plan is today, is to get that automatically revealing large areas of the map. All our bombs are lining up, and that is what we did in our last tutorial. So let's get into the code. So we've got this extras tab here. We've got our setup of our map, which creates our bombs and which sets up our numbering system. And we're going to leave that one alone. And we're going to come right down to the bottom and we're going to create a new function. And we're going to call this reveal tiles. And this is the function that we're going to use when we click on a space that has no bombs around it, so it's a 0, it starts revealing everything else around it. And it's going to be another group of if statements that needs to check each tile around it. But there's a couple of unique things that we're going to talk about. So I'm just going to run the code, and we're just going to talk about, I'm just going to reveal some of the space. Well, I'm not getting any zeros. That's pretty bad. There's a 0. Okay, so we click, this 0 down here is perfect, this one here. So when we click on this 0, we need to reveal these 8 spaces around it. So we started with this 0 here, the one that's highlighted in the circle, the red circle, and just going to draw a bit of a box over it just to, that's the square we're looking at. And what we need to do is we need to go through and we're going to be thinking, all right, we need to check this one first. We need to say, okay, we need to reveal that one. We need to reveal this one. We need to reveal this one. We need to reveal all 8 of these. But the big problem is when we reveal this first one, it's a 0 as well. So it needs all the tiles around it to be revealed. So we'll need this tile to be revealed, this tile to be revealed, this one to be revealed, this one to be revealed, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So as soon as we hit another 0, we need to be able to reveal. So we're going to have to do something that's called recursion. And this is just one way of doing this. There's multiple ways of doing this, and I've seen some implementations of other ways of doing this. But this is just one way we're going to do it. And we're going to talk about recursion. Recursion is basically like you have the starting statement, yes or no. Yes or no. Now, if it's a no, we don't have to go any further. But if it's a yes, we need to ask the question again, yes or no. And then we need to ask the question again if it's yes or no. And eventually we're going to get to a point where if it's a yes, the last one was a yes, and then this yes, this doesn't come true. It's a no. And we bounce back up the tree. We go back up to this answer. And that one's already been answered. This one's already been answered. And this one's already been answered. So we eventually go back up the line. And it's going to create this crazy tree structure of yeses and nos as to whether we do things. And it's going to be this crazy tree of yes or no's. Do we need to reveal this one or not? Now, because we've got our grid here, we've got, say, this square, we click on this one, we need to reveal these ones around it. We have 8 things we need to check. So our tree will have 8 little sprues coming off it, which is really hard to draw. and each of those will have another 8 coming off and another 8 coming off and another 8 coming off it. It's quite a hard concept to understand, but basically, when we reveal a new tile and it's a 0, we need to do the same process again for that tile. And then if that tile reveals another one that is a 0, then we need another one. So say this was a 0 here, and it revealed that this one's a 0 here. We need to keep going until we hit all ones around that one. Then we go back over and this might be a 0. And then we need to reveal what these numbers are. And then we go back to that one. That one's good. That one. We go over here. That one's a 0. And that means we need to reveal that, maybe that one's a 0. That reveals that that one's a 1, 1, 1, 1 as well. So it can be very, it's like cascading. It's like a waterfall. You can suddenly just keep going. The water will just keep flowing. And then eventually it'll run out, and then you'll go back up. So that's what we're going to try and do. It's a pretty hard concept to understand, and we're just going to work our way slowly through it. So the reveal tile needs something extra in our functions. Our functions previously, we've just written our function name, we've left them alone. The only time that we have something written inside our circle brackets has been on our constructor when we've been needing input. Well, the reveal tile needs input as well, and we're going to get our y and our x value for the grid. So when we click on a tile, we get x and y, so we know where it is. So that way we can use it as a reference. And it's a good idea to label things as we're doing it. So we're going to go through, and then we've got to check each tile. So we need the top left, top middle, top right, the left and the right, and then the bottom row as well, which is bottom left, middle, bottom middle, and bottom right. So we're going to have those if statements. So it's another 8 if statements. All right, and it actually uses very similar code to what we've written before when we did these ones. Back up in here when we were setting up our numbers, these bits of code here are going to be very, very similar, with the check being very, very similar, and making sure it doesn't run off our edge of our grid. And there's only a couple of extra things we need to add in there, which is like, is the tile already revealed? We don't need to reveal tiles that are already revealed. So let's get started. Right down the bottom here, inside of a reveal tile, we've got our y and our x for what tile we're dealing with, and we're going to put in our conditions. And these are the same conditions you'll probably notice as the ones at the top. We're doing top left first, because that is the one, it's easier to work from left to right, top to bottom in this situation, just like we did in the past. And now we're just checking all our positional information to make sure that we don't run off the ends of our arrays. And then we've got a little bit extra, which is grid. We're just checking to see if the grid position, whoops, there we go, has not been revealed already. We're using a variable there, and it's not equal to true, so it's not true. Alright, so that's our if statement. It's pretty long and pretty big. And then we put our open and closing bracket down the bottom there. I'm just going to put above this, I'm just going to make the comment above that this is the top left we're dealing with. Alright, so if this is all true, that we can choose this grid position and it hasn't been revealed before, first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab this bit of code here, so just so I don't have to rewrite it. I'm going to go, it's going to be true now. We're going to make it revealed. And then we've got one more check to do. The other check is if this tile, this tile here, grid y minus 1, x minus 1, if this tile dot the number of bombs Make sure we get that spelled correctly with capitals and the correct space. If that's a 0, then that means we need to reveal all the ones around that tile. So we're checking to see if we can reveal this tile first, making sure it hasn't already been revealed. If it hasn't been revealed, we're going to reveal it. But if it is a 0, we need to reveal all the tiles around it. So we're going to have to do the check again. And this is where the recursion happens, where we call the same function inside of itself, because we're inside the function at the moment and we're calling it again. But we're using new coordinates. We're using our new coordinates that we've been checking against, because it's y minus 1 and x minus 1. And we're using those new coordinates to say this one is also a 0 tile and it needs all the tiles to be checked around it. So that's the structure of these if statements. We need to get our position for if it's top left, top right, top middle, whatever it is. Check that we can actually access it, because it's not going to run off the end of our arrays. And then we're going to check to see if it's revealed. If that's all true, then we reveal the tile, and then we do a final check to see if it has no bombs in it, if it's a 0. If it's a 0, and then if it is, we need to call it again and check all the tiles around that one. So this is now just going to repeat 7 more times for all the other if statements we need to do. And if you're clever, you can go back up and look at your code from the previous function we did, and you can just use those. But I'm going to run through them all here anyway. So now we're going minus 1, so we're still on the top row. Is greater or equal to 0. And grid. We're leaving our x the same, so we don't need to do that. So now we're on to the check to see if it was revealed or not. X is not moving. Is revealed. And if it hasn't been revealed, it's not true. Just remember that means not true. Then we need to go inside here. We need to reveal it. So grid minus 1 and x dot is revealed equal true. I keep pushing it down. There we go. What are we doing here? Oh, I forgot to put in my comment, which is the top middle. We're doing the top middle. All right. And what are we going to say here? Oh, now we need our other if statement to see if grid y minus 1 and x is a bomb. Has any bombs in it? Sorry. Is equal to 0, then we need to call ourselves again. This is, as you can see, and this is my minus 1 and x. There it is again. We call it if it is a 0 tile or not. And we're just going to move straight on to the next one. So you can see that this is repeating a very similar pattern. And that's the good thing about code. Usually it comes in patterns and it makes it a lot easier. So we now got top right to do. Let's put the comment in first. Top right. Good. All right. If y minus 1, because it's the top row, greater than or equal to 0, and x is plus 1, then grid size less than grid size, and x plus 1 is greater than grid size equal to 0. And our final bit, grid y minus 1 x plus 1 is revealed, or if it's not revealed, is not equal true. True. That was a very long bit of code. Might just shrink down my text size just a little bit so we can get all that on the one page. There we go. And then we're going to do our same thing down here. I'm just going to grab this because I don't feel like typing it out all again. If that's true, and then we need our if statement for if it is a zero tile. Dot number bombs equals 0, then we need to call ourselves again and check all the bombs around that new tile. Oh, minus plus 1. And if you make a mistake like that, then it could cause the program to crash. Alright, so that's another if statement. So we've got our 3 top checks. Now we need to move on to the 2 in the middle. So we're going to go middle, left. Alright, if x minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0, and x minus 1 sorry, x. Ooh, nearly got that wrong. Nearly got that wrong again, like I did last video. Grid size not equal to 0. Let's just remember that's our x dividing it by, say, 10, which is our grid size, and making sure round remainder is not equal to 0, because that means it's on the end of our line, and we can't check it. And our last bit, grid y, grid x minus 1 is revealed, is not equal to true. You could say is equivalent to false as well there, but I just makes more sense in my brain to do it that way. And then if all that was true, then grid needs to get revealed. Y x minus 1 revealed is true. Boom. And then we need our if statement again to see if the number of bombs is 0, then we need to reveal all the tiles around that square as well. And we need to reveal you type the same thing over and over again. Sometimes your brain just loses it and you get where you're up to. There we go. Alright, so that's for our middle left. What have we got next? We've got middle right next. And that will be middle right. We need our if statement. X plus 1, because it's on the other side now, greater or equal to 0, and x plus 1 is less than grid size. Oops, grid size, and x plus 1, the remainder of it, divided by grid size, let's just fix that, is not equal to 0, and grid y x plus 1, oops, why I've got a couple there, plus 1, dot is revealed is not true. Oh, don't leave a space there and spell that correctly. There we go. And then we've got the exact same thing to write here. We've got grid. I'm gonna just copy paste that. Y and x plus 1 is revealed. Set it to true. And if grid y grid x plus 1 dot number of bombs 0 equivalent to 0, and we need to reveal tiles, and we need to reveal all the tiles around that one. Boom. So we've done 5 now. It's our middle right. That's pretty good. Now we could test this now, but it won't do anything. So because we're not calling this function yet. So if we hit it a 0 at the moment, it won't do anything. We haven't written the code yet to actually run this function, and we'll be doing that after we've finished all 3 left that we have to go. And we've got middle right, so we're into bottom left. What have we got for bottom left? We need y will now be a plus 1. So if y plus 1 is less than grid size and x minus 1, because we're going to the left hand side first, is greater or equal to 0, and x minus 1, oh sorry, that's just x 1, not x minus 1, because we just want to check to see if the x is on the left hand side already. If it is, we don't want to be checking this, as modular grid size. So if it's 10 divided by 10, it's a 0 with a remainder of 0. We don't want there to be a perfect remainder of 0. Covered all that in our last tutorial. And then we're doing our grid check. Y plus 1, x minus 1. And is it revealed? It's not true, then we will go into here and reveal it. And I'll just copy paste that because that makes it a little bit quicker. True, and then our if statement. Where's that other one? There we go. Our if statement for our grid. So we're just really repeating. So if you think you know what you're doing, you can just go ahead and smash them all out. Oops, that's the wrong bracket. But as you can see, you'll make some mistakes. Where are we at? Dot number of bombs equivalent to 0. If it is, we want to call our reveal tile function. and y is +1 and x is -1. Remember, those relate to what we're using here, and what we're revealing here and here. So we're just repeating. So there's the bottom left. So we now got bottom middle next. Only got 2 to go. We're going pretty good. Bottom middle is pretty one of the quicker ones because we only need to check one bit. Y is going to be +1. Is less than grid size. And because we don't need to check the x because x is just x. Grid y +1 x is revealed not equal to true. That's the case, then you need to reveal it. I'll just grab that real quickly. Equal to true. And then we have our if statements. Again, just fix that up because I might like making the code look nice. Grid y +1 x dot number of bombs equals equivalent to 0. And what do we need? Should need the reveal tiles function. We just need y +1 and x. So second last one done. I've only got one more to go, and it is bottom right. Okay, last one. So we're going if y +1 is less than grid size. Need to check that x +1 is not greater than grid size. And grid size and x +1 modular grid size equal to 0. Space it out nicely. Pretty sure I might not need that check, but we'll just leave that one in there. We've done it everywhere else. Can't hurt to do another check. If it doesn't get past this stage, then that's okay. So if it doesn't pass that stage, then it doesn't matter. Y +1 and x +1. Now, if that's not true, oh, need dot reveal. Ow, it's a big one again. Have I made a mistake here? No. Grid plus. Yeah, we just got a lot of pluses. If I collapse this down a little bit. Nah, still going to run off the end. It's just too big. Just too big. So, got all that. And then we reveal it. I'm just going to copy paste again. Because coders are lazy. When you can reuse code, you do it. But we need our if statement now to say if grid y +1 x +1 dot number of bombs is equal to 0. I'm expecting to have an error come up. Always expect an error to come up. No one ever writes perfect code with no spelling mistakes, no mishaps on the first shot. Boom. Alright, so if we run that now, nothing will happen. Why? Because we never use this function. And it should have happened up here in this corner. This corner definitely, we should have hit that 0 and it should have cascaded and kept cascading and oh boy, yeah, it would have all revealed all that. So we've got our function here. We've got our 8 if statement. Yeah, 8 if statements. We've got our function here. But now we need to put it somewhere. I'm going to be putting it in the tile class. And how are we going to know when to use it? So we've got our check to see if it's revealed first, because we click on it first. If it is, we reveal it. If it's our first click, we set the map and set it first click. But now we need something else. We need an if statement to say if this dot. So this is inside the fact that we've clicked. So this one here is this one here. So we're still inside the fact that we clicked on a unrevealed tile. If this number of bombs is, and this will initialize it, if the number of bombs for this one is 0, then we need to reveal tiles. This is our function that we just wrote, and it'll be this dot grid y, so it's getting its position, this dot grid x. And I'm pretty sure we set up those up the top here. Yep, we've got y and x, gy, gx. We're going to go put them in, and that needs to do the reveal. So hopefully when we run this time, we click on a, there we go, we click on a 0 and it reveals all the tiles. Now it didn't work. I don't know why. Let's have a look. It sort of worked, but it didn't work there again. So that 0 didn't reveal that tile there. So I think we got something wrong in our code. But as you can see, it repeats itself when we do click on one. There we go, it did it there, but it didn't do it to that tile. So we've got something wrong with that tile. I'll have to go back and fix that. But that's the bit of code we need in our if statement. We've got an if statement to reveal if it's false after we pressed on it. That bracket closes on that bracket, so it's inside, and it's just below after our first click. Well, let's go back into our function, and right down the bottom, it's not revealing the bottom right. So we've done something wrong here. Let's just have a little look. We've got y plus 1 is less than grid size, and x plus 1 is less than grid size. Oh, I've done x plus 1. I meant to have just done x. That, no, x plus 1. Yeah, no, we do need x plus 1 there. Less than modular. Ah, that's where it is. There you go. Just reading through, and oh, I did not spell it correctly up there. So typos. Don't have typos. Now we've got to find the 0 again. Whoa, there we go, crashed. Ooh. Real tiles on the lines. 65. Ah, revealed. What did I say revealed? Reveal tiles. So a few misspelling mistakes in that last one there. Got to fix them up. So I fixed one up here, at the top here, fixed one up in here, and then I had to fix one on line 65. So, that's why it goes through your code and you check. Oh, there we go. Boom. That worked. I hit on the 0 and everything that's revealed needs to be revealed. This one here, all 8 are revealed. That one there, all 8 are revealed. Everyone there is revealed. Oh, there we go again. That one revealed everything. Oh, there we go. Boom. That one revealed everything. That's all correct. Yep. And we're probably not going to have too many more. There was 0. Boom, worked. So, appears to be working. So just spell check this last one. Spell check all of them. But that's all we had. So we have, this is pretty much it for this video. We've got top left, and then top middle, top right. Got middle left, middle right, and then we've got bottom left, bottom middle, and bottom right down the bottom here. So that's our new function that we've created, our function name. It passes in a couple of bits of information. We use those information in our if statements, and if we need to reveal another one, we're calling upon the same function inside itself, just using different positional information. This can be very dangerous, and if you don't have already, make sure you go over to the side here. I'll get my tools out of the way. Go over to the side here, and just make sure that in the sketch tab that you have loop protection on. That will prevent you from freezing your sketch completely. Make sure you're saving all the time. I don't think I mentioned it during the video, so make sure you're saving, but loop protection on will help you. All right, and just remember in the tile, we still had our old code that was the button when we clicked. We revealed, we did our first check, but then we got this another if statement inside here, which is inside this bracket, set of brackets, that is for revealing the tiles. So that's it for this tutorial. In the next one, we've got a little bit of cleanup to do. We need to figure out when to stop the game. So when you hit a bomb, you need to be able to stop the game. And we probably need to set up a timer so that when we start, do our first click, it starts our timer to count up so that we can get a score based on time. But that's it for this video. We did revealing of empty spaces and the cascading effect that it can have. And we used recursion to do it. Thanks for watching.